Hello everyone. So continuing with the subject social pharmacy, in that nutrition and health, we are discussing this topic, isn't it? Being it is a major topic. In that, the next part is food supplements. Now, they are also called dietary supplements because diet and food it is one and the same. The food which we are eating that is also called diet. So these dietary supplements or food supplements, these are all these nutrients, isn't it? These are ingredients like vitamins, minerals, they may be herbs, amino acids, enzymes, isn't it? And they are taken in the form of any formulation. It may be tablet, capsule, isn't it? Or in powder form also it can be taken, or even liquid. So first of all we will see what is the meaning of food supplements. These are products that are made from medicinal plants, natural extracts, traditional foods, dehydrated or concentrated fruit and vegetables with added vitamins and minerals or not, and that they can be presented to the drug style. As I said, कि they are taken in the form of tablet, capsule, isn't it, liquid or powder, and which aim to increase certain supplements in the diet intake. That means what? कि whatever our requirement is there of the nutrients of our body, that is fulfilled by taking these type of supplements, isn't it? Now these components ultimately when we are taking as a pure components, isn't it? So their level in our body increases, and whatever our main functions are there of our body, or whatever body processes are there, they are carried out smoothly. Now what is a dietary supplement? So DS, that is the dietary supplement, isn't it? Now there was no any official definition for this before 1994, isn't it? But there is a organization that is called DSHEA, that is Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act, isn't it? Which provides us the proper definition of dietary supplement. It is a product taken by mouth that contains dietary ingredient intended to supplement the diet, isn't it? Like vitamins, minerals, herbs, these may be botanicals, that means plant material, amino acids, enzymes, or it may be in the form of extract also, isn't it? So the diet, our food can be supplemented along with these supplements, dietary supplements, isn't it? So that is the advantage, and these type of substances they are needed in many conditions, isn't it? Later on we will see those conditions also. Again in this next slide we will try to understand more clearly कि what is food supplement, isn't it, or dietary or nutritional supplement. These are the names which can be used interchangeably, isn't it? All these are same: food supplement, dietary supplement, isn't it, nutritional supplement. All these contain essential nutrients only which are needed to our body, isn't it, to carry out various processes, isn't it? Now a dietary supplement is a product taken by mouth that contains dietary ingredient intended to supplement the diet, isn't it? So when these are taken along with our regular food, so whatever regular food we are eating, isn't it, twice a day or thrice a day, along with that these are some of the pure chemicals, we can say, dietary supplements which are needed to our body, and many times these are not getting to our body due to deficiency, you can say, or due to lack of balanced diet, or due to poor health condition. There are multiple reasons, isn't it? Now, Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act, this was formed in 1994, isn't it? So DSHEA also defines the dietary supplement, isn't it? So it means a product, isn't it? This will include all products. That means this may be any pure natural chemical, isn't it? Or it may be any food article, isn't it? Other than tobacco. So a product intended to supplement the diet that bears or contains one or more of the following dietary ingredients. This may include vitamin, mineral, herb or other botanical, any amino acid, a dietary substance for use by man to supplement the diet by increasing the total dietary intake, or a concentrate, metabolite, constituent, extract or combination of any of the aforementioned ingredients. So this dietary supplement may be a pure chemical also, isn't it? Or any, you can say, pure vitamin, pure mineral, isn't it? Any element, isn't it? Which we can get directly, isn't it? In extract form or liquid form or powder form, isn't it? So this is the appropriate definition which is given by Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act 1994. Now, what is present in dietary supplements? So in this slide, this you will get the idea. Nowadays, whatever the preparations that are available in the market, isn't it? So many preparations you might have seen also, isn't it, which contain pure chemicals, isn't it? Now, first of all, sports drinks are there, isn't it? So sports drinks, they just give us glucose, then certain minerals like sodium, electrolytes, carbohydrate or the energy, isn't it? So it can be called as an energy drink also. Then protein powders are there which contain proteins, and some essential amino acids may also be present. Sports bars, isn't it? They are also available in the market, which mainly contain carbohydrates, proteins, various vitamins and minerals, isn't it? So this may be variable from one product to another. Similarly, there are multivitamins, isn't it, which may contain specific vitamins or minerals like calcium, zinc, potassium, isn't it? So multivitamin preparations are also many more available in the market, which can come under the dietary supplement. Now these dietary supplements are beneficial for overall health and for managing some health conditions also, isn't it? Now as we have seen in this slide, these are the various preparations which are available as a food supplements, isn't it? So for example, calcium and vitamin D are important for keeping bones strong, then reducing bone loss. Folic acid decreases risk of certain birth defects. Then omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil might help some people with heart diseases also, isn't it? So these dietary supplements, they have got beneficial effects on the health, but their essential requirement must be determined, and accordingly they are to be taken, isn't it? So they may have beneficial effects. Otherwise, if they are taken in higher amount, or if they are regularly combined with the food articles, so they may give rise to some side effects also, isn't it? Now these dietary supplements are added to food articles also, isn't it? So care is taken accordingly, they must be used cautiously. Now some of the points you must know, that more than 50% of Americans use dietary supplements on regular basis, isn't it? Because many times what happen, when regularly diet is not taken, when they are not taking food, isn't it? So instead of food, these supplements are taken, and whatever the need of the body is there, that is made up of, isn't it? So therefore in western countries like America, these are regulated as food articles, not drugs. Now we must know that what are the important these dietary supplements which are taken, isn't it? And in which form they are taken. So these include mainly all vitamins, isn't it? We know about the vitamins, we know about the minerals, we have already covered macronutrients and micronutrients, isn't it? So vitamins and minerals, then certain herbs, botanicals, amino acids, enzymes, and many other products. These come under the food supplements, and they are taken in various forms, like say for example tablets, capsules, powders, in the form of liquids, and in the form of energy bars. Now we will cover some of the important supplements which are necessary for our body, isn't it? And first of all, calcium we will see, isn't it? So this calcium, it is a mineral, isn't it? And it plays important role in the development of bones, isn't it? Now it is used to prevent osteoporosis. So treatment and prevention of osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is related with the bones, isn't it? So thinning of the bones, that is the condition called osteoporosis, and for its prevention and treatment calcium plays important role, isn't it? Then adequate intake is important for keeping bones strong and reducing bone loss. Now in this, muscle strengthening exercises are also needed along with these dietary supplements. Then regarding vitamin D, so vitamin D also plays important role in bone health, and it is useful for absorption of calcium, isn't it? So proper absorption of calcium takes place in presence of vitamin D. Now daily requirement, isn't it? It is in international units, isn't it? So who are less than 50 years of age, they can take 400 to 800 international units per day, and who are 50 years of age and older, isn't it? So they need more amount, as their diet may contain more or less amount of calcium, vitamin D, isn't it? So 800 to 1000 international units are recommended for the older people, isn't it? So this will be variable in the disorders also, like the person who is suffering from osteoporosis, so they may need higher doses of the vitamin D. Similarly, folic acid is also one of the important vitamin which is needed, and specifically females who are becoming pregnant, isn't it, who are in the age of childbearing. So to prevent certain birth defects also, this is folic acid is very important. And accordingly then, in childbearing potential, it is needed in 400 microgram per day. In pregnancy, it is 600 microgram per day. And most women will not obtain sufficient amounts through their diet alone, isn't it? So specifically in pregnancy also, the gynecologist used to prescribe the extra doses of these vitamins, because nowadays only from the food the vitamin and minerals cannot be made up. That means the requirement cannot be fulfilled only from the diet, and therefore they are to be given in the form of food supplements. Then another important is vitamin C. So here vitamin C is very much important for our immunity, isn't it? And the persons who are lacking this vitamin, they may have frequent you can say attacks of common cold, isn't it? So here the recommended amount is given for adult women, pregnant women, breastfeeding women and smokers, isn't it? So it is variable. Then food containing vitamin C. So we know that citrus fruits, they are rich in vitamin C, that is the ascorbic acid. Red and green peppers, isn't it? So other fruits like broccoli, strawberry, cantaloupe, tomatoes are rich sources of vitamin C, isn't it? And fortified foods are also nowadays available. We know about the food fortification, isn't it? So many beverages are also there which are containing vitamin C. So we have seen about the food supplements, isn't it? Now we must also know the safety and risks surrounding nutritional dietary supplements, isn't it? So supplements contain many ingredients that have strong effects with the body, isn't it? So we are taking these supplements for the beneficial effects, isn't it? So that our health must get benefit, our body must get benefited. On the same time, we must be aware of potential side effects, isn't it? Because when they are combined with our food, isn't it? So they are likely to cause the side effects also, isn't it? So many examples are there of side effects, isn't it? Now supplements are most likely to cause side effects or harm when people take them instead of prescribed medicines, or when people take many supplements in combination, isn't it? So for example, there is a risk of bleeding, isn't it? Or if person takes them before or after surgery, they can affect the person's response to anesthesia, isn't it? Now dietary supplements can also interact with certain prescription drugs also, isn't it? So that also is one of the drawback. Then vitamin K can reduce ability of blood thinner, isn't it? For example, Coumadin to prevent blood from clotting. isn't it? Now, many drugs, they can be immediately disintegrated in the body. For example, antidepressants, birth control pills, isn't it? And when they are broken up in the body immediately, isn't it? So their automatically effectiveness gets reduced of those type of drugs. Now antioxidant supplements like vitamin C, vitamin E, they may reduce effectiveness of some types of cancer chemotherapy, isn't it? So this you have to understand that when people are suffering from some chronic diseases, isn't it? Like cancer and all that. So in that the antibiotics are to be taken, therapeutic agents are to be taken, and along with that when food supplements are added, so food supplements can interact with those type of drugs and the effectiveness of those drugs can get reduced, isn't it? Continuing with this safety and risk surroundings only of these dietary supplements. So some ingredients, food and nutrition are beginning to become added to everyday food item, isn't it? Like nowadays, some cereals, various beverages, isn't it? They are taken on regular basis by most of the people. Now, as a result, individuals are ingesting more supplement than their body actually needs. So this is also one of the factor that people, irrespective whether their body needs or not, isn't it? Whether there is deficiency or not, but those supplements are taken for longer duration, for longer period of time, and this gives rise to the side effects, isn't it? So taking in too many of one supplement can increase risk for negative side effects, isn't it? So here we can take example of vitamin A, isn't it? Then when it is taken in higher amount or larger, you can say doses or longer period of time, isn't it? So it can cause headache and it can damage liver also, isn't it? It can reduce bone strength, isn't it? And cause birth defects, isn't it? On the same time, the iron is also given that iron can cause nausea and vomiting, isn't it? And is harmful to the liver. So we must always think of the benefits as well as the side effects which are associated with these dietary supplements, isn't it? Now, as I said that these, whatever the dietary supplements are there, they are added to the foods and drinks, isn't it? But deeply if we see, so the doctor's prescription does not need to buy dietary supplements, isn't it? So that is all about the dietary supplements. Go through this lecture and try to understand. If you don't understand, listen twice or thrice, and whatever the slides are given, so those slides you have to pause in between and complete your register also. So whatever the notes are there, that you have to complete from these slides only, isn't it? So any doubt or difficulty is there, you can raise your doubt or difficulty, you can message me, isn't it, if you want to ask any question, isn't it? And keep your whatever the notes are there complete, and few more lectures will be required. to complete this major topic, nutrition and health. Thank you.